Hey guys, today's game review is of a Garen one-trick pony playing on his Silver Smurf account. He is currently a Gold 1 Garen OTP, and basically we're building a plan for him to return to his main account. He's lost a bit of confidence, he's not sure what he's doing wrong, he's been wanting to experiment and limit test a little bit. So on the screen here you can see the points, the major points this video covers. So if you're interested in this in the lens of a top laner, someone with ranked anxiety, someone who's wanting to climb into gold or plat for the first time, or who is a Garen one trick or an enthusiast or wants to learn the champion, this is a really good session. We really focus on tough matchups like Pantheon, but we also look at what is correct limit testing and incorrect limit testing. And really, this is almost a kick up the arse session for this student where we're trying to get him onto the main account and we just need to get on it. We need to play good League of Legends. We need to focus on fundamentals. So this is a bit of a long session and there's a bit of arguing back and forth with me and the student. So it's actually quite interesting to see both perspectives of the replay and the review, I should say. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and please give a like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. And if you want to book a call with me, please check out the links below. Let's get into the review. All right, so how do you like to play the early levels into Panth now that you've done the matchup twice kind of recently?
We hide that tower.
Yeah.
More or less. Yeah, like he's got his earliest really strong.
Cool.
Yeah, and then this one I think I just sort of over chase him because he's missed a bunch of cues.
Cool. Why don't we win that trade?
Because he had the 5-stack thing as well, and I canceled my auto on that second one there.
Yep. Do we also know what keystones we're versing?
Yeah, he has, I think, press the attack.
Yep.
And I have phase rush, so...
Yep. So why do we ever take this trade?
Unchecked aggression.
Yeah. I think you just took the trade because it looked like he was letting you do it, and then he fought back and it did not go well.
Yeah. I mean, he was playing Pantheon very passive here, so I was testing. I was kind of seeing if he knew what he was doing or if he was actually just like, because he runs away here where he really didn't need to.
He definitely didn't. But I don't think you needed to test him with 80% of your HP bar. I think this is a good enough test. Like you pushed him off, right? Isn't that the test? You don't actually want to fight him as a phase rush level 1 Garen. Too much ego, Charles.
Yeah, but I mean, I think at the time this was still bronze 1-ish, so there's a non-zero chance he legitimately had no idea what he was doing.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't like change the the keystones. It's not like that's a nerf on his keystone. All he has to do is auto attack you.
Yes, but there have been wins in here where you'll see very similar like. I don't go quite as hard as I do here with the Pantheon there, but it's very much a similar situation where they 100% win the fight. They just choose to not take it, like that Gragas one.
Yeah.
There, and there's probably at least one more in there that's like very similar, that where just like it's pretty much the exact same situation. Maybe not quite as
Jeez. Yeah. Because the whole lane's just over now for no reason. Like, not over, but like, this is so tough. Like, this is really, really tough. Oh, yeah.
I wasn't expecting the crit to do that much damage.
Yeah.
But it was the fully empowered with the crit.
Yeah. I mean, regardless, you just should never be in a situation like that. At level 2. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then, I mean, it just kind of goes downhill from there. And
Alright, before we go any further, I want to look at the difference between this one and the next Panth game. I wonder if... Did you record the other Panth win?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
cool.
that's the one right above it.
Alright, cool. Let's
That's
have a look. So this guy is lower rank, so it'll be interesting to see. We've gone Phase Rush again. I think if you ever want to take that level 1, you're never going to win it, first of all. But 2, like, at least go like Conqueror if you're wanting to take a trade like that, because... Yeah. I mean, you're still not going to win it. I think just full stop, you're never going to win it into a Panth matchup.
Yeah.
Regardless of skill, I think it's just a simple Keystone check. It's check Summoner spells, check Keystone.
Yeah.
Which we've talked about before. I think it was just a bit of lack of discipline by you.
Yeah, I mean, it was. And I do that here, more or less. That's what I was holding tab for. I was basically like, yeah, it's the same thing again.
Yeah.
You got the...
Yeah, exact same. This time, this Panth has Ignite, though, instead of TP. The other Panth, yeah.
And so my thought here in looking at that was, well, this is even worse.
Yeah.
I don't even have the Ignite advantage.
Cool, and we've gone E level 1 this time. So is that I want to push the wave, or is that accessing CS? I'm not sure.
Q ended terribly last time, so I'm not going to give myself the tools to run in like that.
Got it.
No. So I'm going to try to basically the play is I'm going to try to get like a 2 or 3 wave crash and recall and just get some stuff, either armor or like something.
Got it. I feel like this is... we didn't learn from the previous game. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't think a Garen can ever win the level 1, 2... The level 3 maybe, but like, geez, it's still pretty hard.
The first 3 levels are...
Yeah.
The first 3 levels are pretty much just panned.
Yeah. Yeah, and now you're just in this shitty situation where until you get a recall, you're kind of doomed. Something you can do in this matchup, like what I did in the matchup, is I literally went... I just went TP, and I didn't play for lane, so I didn't go Ignite because I knew I could never beat the Panth. So I just played TP and just went even in lane.
Yeah, and I mean... So this one, he's a lot less aggressive.
Well, no, he's not. You just took a much better trade. Like, that trade was a lot less worse than the first trade.
I can believe that.
Yeah. Well, at least at this point, I'm sure he probably is a worse Panth, but in terms of trade pattern, the first trade was way worse than that trade. So at least you learned a little bit.
Yeah, I broke the trade-off sooner.
Yeah. But I still don't think your game plan was solid. You got like E level 1 and then tried to like kill the first 3 melees, but then there was no long-term thinking there because I don't know what that was going to achieve. I just think you got to do a game plan into your matchups because it avoids this. You'd never get into this problem if you just press tab, did a summoner spell checklist, did a keystone checklist, and I'm sure Wrist has like a matchup spreadsheet as well, and I've seen you use one.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah. Cool, we've got a kill window here, depending when this Panth recalls, if he does. Wow, very similar situation as well, the top scuttle fight. Oh, geez, yeah. You're level 2.
Yeah, we just
yeah. All because of your first death. Cool. I mean, 2 really good examples of how your early deficit in lane then causes issues for your jungler as well, and then just issues for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Right, I don't know. Are there any moments in those games that would be worth looking at? Because I just think those level 1s are the most important part.
I think this one, he does, like, if we go, like, to about 6 minutes, like, when I come back with the long sword,
This one?
yeah, so I seem to recall there was a point where he winds up actually taking a really bad recall, and because he doesn't have teleport, it just turns that back around the other way.
Yeah. No use of W? Oh, there we go. Okay, we W'd. Good.
Yeah, I was holding it for the
Nice. We've got a kill window here.
yeah.
Okay, let's see if we try and take it. Okay, you check the items. You kind of... Yeah. Cool.
I just have a long sword, basically, is the bit.
Bit obvious. Yeah. W action slow. Cool. Cool, you're freezing even though your team's doing grubs. We don't even move the camera. Okay, there we go. Cool. Good. I think you react to this a little bit quicker. Once you get the freeze, I think you immediately rotate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Why do I think you immediately rotate once you've got the freeze? Like, this is an established freeze now.
Well, because I mean, Pantheon's already headed over there.
Yeah, and you're not losing anything with this freeze. Panth's gonna lose something. You're level 6. It's a really good fight. You've got Belveth and Smolder with priority. Vhagar's not even there yet. So, like, a perfect fight for you. I would... Like, in my head, that's how I would see this. But what's going through your head, if you can remember?
I mean, realistically, though, like... So, I think at this point, I was... up-ish a decent amount of CS, and I've got 750 gold, which is like my Tiamat.
Yeah.
More or less. I think it's like a little bit shy of Tiamat, and so I'm trying to get enough for Tiamat so when I come back, when I recall, I can get it, because I think it's 850 at this point. That's on my...
Yeah, I think so.
1200? It's 1200 total.
Yeah.
And so I need basically 3 more minions for, like, 4 more minions for that.
But I mean, we could just get a kill and then get these minions later, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to figure out why you don't rotate earlier, because you eventually rotate, but it takes you a couple of extra seconds. Like, this is when you should be rotating, as soon as you've pulled that melee minion out of turret range.
Yeah, I'm not particularly confident in Belveth. Like, I don't think we win the 3v3. I mean, like, Vhagar hasn't moved yet, but, like, Vhagar, Viego, Pantheon sounds a lot stronger than Smolder, Garen, Belveth. We've got a lot more late game scaly stuff going on. I mean, Vhagar, kinda, yeah, but Pantheon's definitely stronger early.
Yeah, but you still rotated, so you're still committing to the 3v3. But all you've done now is made it even less of a chance of winning because you don't get there first, or you don't match Panth.
Yeah.
Because if you walk with Panth, Belveth and Smolder can collapse and it's a 3v1 before Viego or Vhagar get there, or even a 3v2 before Vhagar gets there. Because watch this play out. So this is when you should already be walking. But you don't walk until you see Panth on the minimap, I think. Like, look at that. That's 7 seconds.
So
you guys probably could have just fought that Panth there. Yeah. I don't see how Panth ever gets out there if you rotate 7 seconds earlier.
The other bit was just the Viego wasn't anywhere to be seen, and I was worried they might be angry bushing there.
Yeah.
Because Pantheon, I didn't have a ward down, so I couldn't see what exactly was going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it was the wrong call.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to figure out how in future games you can, rotate 7 seconds fast. Because you're going to do it anyway. It's almost like stubbornness. You're like, I really don't want to rotate here, and you're seeing if you can get away with it. You're, min-maxing not rotating. But it's really... It's so much worse than if you just rotated early.
I really do not like the Grudge fight.
Yeah. But it's a way for you to get back in the game. I think you look at it very negatively. Whereas if I was in that situation, I would look at it as an opportunity to get kills.
Yeah.
I get that I don't think you guys win the 3v3, but I also think if you rotate with the Panth and we also move our camera to see what Smolder and Belveth are doing, it's a very easy collapse on the Panth there, and he just dies, and then it's a 3v2.
Yeah.
And I think it goes very differently, because Vhagar was so close to dying as well.
Yeah, and I probably should have thrown my ult, but...
Yeah.
That was just an execution problem. I don't know,
Yeah. And now we're paying for our sins. This is such a tough lane now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he gives me the,
Wow. In this matchup as well, I rushed my Zerkers first, my tier 2s, because I thought I liked the tier 2s for movement speed, and I know I'm never going to really trade with him. So I'm opting for mobility. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. Over Tiamat. I know the Tiamat procs the phase rush, and I went Conqueror into this matchup, so that's maybe why.
Yeah, so for this with phase rush, the phase rush proc is enough. His cooldowns are, apart from the Q, his cooldowns are big enough that your phase rush matches his jump, I think, more or less.
Okay.
I think he's got a slightly smaller cooldown on it, but the thought was the phase rush is enough mobility for this.
Got it. Yeah, I just think usually when we're behind in lane, we almost always want to rush our boots, like tier 2 boots, whether that's steel caps or Zerkers, because the movement speed is just such a good utility outside of your phase rush proc. So I would really prefer boots rush. At least, even if you go Tiamat first, at least go boots before phage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're just completely sacking your team here. This is, I don't know. This is really weird. Is it... you're not even looking at the kill, the potential kills.
So the the Belveth and the again, it's Camille is up here. We didn't win the 3v3. There's not a I'm not super fond of a I don't know. It was a 2 for 2. Or sorry, no, it becomes a 2 for 3. I think they do kill the Smolder.
Yeah, I just feel like you're not treating this account as a learning account, which I think should I thought you should test this as a limit test account and just rotate to that, a disagreeing commit and just see what happens. Like, because I really do think you win that. That Camille's like level 4 or level 5, I'm pretty sure. And it's a support Camille.
I think she's 5.
Well, you're level 8. Look, yeah, like, and again, you eventually rotate, but it's so late. And you get the kill, but then you just end up dying. Like, so
Yeah,
you're
but I mean,
still committing to the play, you're just doing it so much later.
yeah, but like I don't know, like the result of me committing earlier is just Panth gets a better ult on the three of us.
I mean, he can't get much better than that outcome, though. Like, I don't think it could go really any worse than that. Other than at least you guys could have killed a few more people before Panth ults. Because, like, look how long it takes Panth to ult. You're rotating, like, after this wave, if not before. You're rotating now. So what, that's 10:34. So let's see how long it takes for Panth to ult. So 20 seconds, basically, we have until Panth ults.
Yeah, I mean...
25 seconds.
I'm not actually 100% sure where... Like, because he left quite a bit before that fight. And I mean, like, I legitimately think he was waiting to see if I showed up to that fight to determine where to ult.
Yeah.
But, because like... I don't know. I mean, like, they're up a decent amount of kills. It's a 4v3, and yeah, I mean, Camille's only level 5, but like,
Yeah.
She's still got a stun, and they've got way more CC than us. Smolder doesn't come online for another like 8 minutes at least, and I don't know. I mean, like, I got the plate and rotated and got a kill. I mean, it could have been maybe a better. We might have been able to get another kill there, but it just I don't even know what we were fighting over.
Yeah.
And it just didn't I wanted to get the crash off in the plate over like taking a mediocre fight. I don't know, like if it was like if we were fighting over Cloud Drake or something like that,
Yeah.
then I 100% would have been there. If we were fighting over like Rubs or Harold again, then I probably maybe would have rotated sooner, but I still really just do not like the Smolder Bel'Veth angle, especially with the like, I don't know. I mean, like I feel like Vego is better early than Bel'Veth, and Veigar, I don't know. It's a toss up between the two, but I feel like I mean he brings more to a skirmish than Smolder does, even with just his like cage.
Yeah, but it feels like you're devaluing your presence. Like, you're a technically high gold player. Like, that's what you finished last split. And you're in a silver, like, bronze elo game. So I don't know why you're, like, discrediting your ability to impact fights. Like, because you're still going to the trade. Like, I don't know. It feels so weird.
Yeah.
Like, I understand all that logic. That would make sense, but you eventually commit to the play. But it makes it so much worse. Like, you either commit early or you don't commit at all, is kind of my thinking there.
Yeah.
Like, whereas you're
like,
trying to do both things at once. We've talked about this before, where you, like, split your decision making. You try and do both. I think you should just commit to one or the other. You've told... reported Bel'Veth for inting. Okay, yeah.
I think I do. I think I reversed that decision at some point, or maybe I don't. I don't remember. But like, I don't know. She's 0-5, and has taken like all of them were just not just don't
Yeah.
situations. And
But I think at least 2 of her deaths are directly related to you and Pantheon and rotation timers.
she died to Veigar before Pantheon showed up to that fight. I mean, like I could have shown up to that, I guess, but it was like I don't know.
And now all of a sudden you're grouping? Like, this fight seems so much worse than the other fights we rotated to. But you rotated early and got there before Panth, and the outcome seems pretty good.
We traded junglers, yeah.
But I don't know what's different between... Like, this looks like such a worse fight.
We're contesting Herald.
Yeah, but Herald's shit compared to Grubs. Like, Grubs is so much better than Herald. But you're like, look at how committed you are to this compared to the last two fights. Like, I'm trying to figure out in your head, why is this fight so much different?
Well, so the last fight...
Like, Panthers ulted in just like we suspected in that first trade where you were worried about Panth ulting in. But now that fear's completely gone.
So I wanted to get a plate before they fell. We got the plate. There's no, that wave is pushing into me top, so I'm not losing anything, whereas the other one was, it was bouncing back towards him. I don't know. I mean, yeah, like, it's probably more consistent to do the thing that you're,
Well, just look how impactful you were because you rotated early. Like, sure, it's still a bit of a flip. You don't know the exact outcome, but this looks so good. I would say, just a risky rotation, if not worse. But the only difference is you rotated early instead of late.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Like the other big difference there was Viego was legitimately alone that time. He didn't have Veigar and Camille already in the fight, and Pantheon waiting in the wings. Like, he was legitimately alone, and we basically 4v1'd him.
Yeah, but if we go back to the Panth, he's all alone. Panth rotating from here to there. He is all alone that entire time.
Right, but they knew. Well, my impression at the time, I don't know. It might be incorrect, but the way that I saw that going was they knew that Belveth and Smolder were on Grubs, and Viego was either there or like in that pixel bush waiting for Pantheon to go and bust them up. And I didn't want to commit to the fight until I knew where Viego was, because I was 90% sure he was rotating to that fight. And
okay, but do we have to commit to the fight? Rotating doesn't mean commit.
I'm going to get stunned by Pantheon and then by Viego at the very least.
Well, I mean, looking at your level 1... I just don't know what's changing, because, you take such a terrible level 1 trade, but then you're not willing to rotate to your team who are on Grubs who need your help because you're worried about a Panth stun. I'm trying to get it so that you can think of it in-game of, the rationale and why it's a good decision versus a bad decision.
So, level 1
Sorry, your voice has gone all warped. I'm not sure if it's me or you. Can you hear me okay? Ah, that's weird. Okay. Okay, I'm going to change it to US. Are you US East? Central or South? Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I've changed it to US East. So...
Yeah, I mean, so... roll it back a tiny bit. Actually, so some of it is, I don't know. I mean,
That's fine. This one you can't do anything about.
Yeah, and, well, so, Velvet died there. She died at level 1. like if you go back to the beginning,
Oh, sorry. Yep. Which, yeah.
like literally like the very beginning, like where I'm sitting in that tri bush.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Belveth is there, and then I think
She
I think
dies.
yeah. If you go back just like a few seconds, you can see her epic escape attempt. And so my confidence in Belveth is low.
Okay, well, she fucked up. Seen you stuff flashes.
Yes, yes.
No, I know what you mean, though. I get it. It does.
And I
It
mean,
does create a bias.
it's not. It is not. It is probably not fair. And I mean, I am going to these fights eventually because I'm like, ah, sure, yeah, I should just go. But the just the amount of like, I don't know, like I just don't think that Belveth and Smolder are capable of taking these fights. And I mean, I don't know.
I, I get it, but
I
that excuse doesn't work because you still rotate. So I don't like. It doesn't make sense because you're still rotating.
that
Like,
yeah,
so
I
so
see
you're
the point of
disagreeing.
inconsistency.
But why don't you just disagree 7 seconds earlier? Like, if you just rotate, but you're like, I don't want this fight, but I'll rotate anyway just in case. That's all I want you to do.
Yeah,
Like,
no, and
because you get
I'm
the
not
freeze as an example. Like,
I'm not
let's.
arguing against
Yeah.
the well. So like my first two, the first two fights that I've seen Belveth take were that one where she basically was just sitting in like the. I think she was just sitting out in the open behind Dragon Pit for no reason instead of like in the bush, which
Mm-hmm.
that would have fixed the problem. And then like the second thing was she did that thing where or she had that fight where she basically it was like a scuttle fight and she was like, oh yeah, useful ping, and it's like, well, I pinged he was coming like 10 seconds before he came on vision, and so it was already just I was prejudiced against the Belveth as like a competent player, and just none of the fights that Belveth has been at have had gone well. She's already 0-2. I don't know. I mean, like the
Like, so how I would play this, like, this is even a better example, is how I would play this is I would just never let him rotate. So if you
yeah
don't want this fight, don't let Panth rotate and just block him. So, like,
yeah
I think alternatively, if you really don't want the 3v3, never let him access the river without coming through you first. Because you legitimately have some potential to kill him or at least deter him here.
I it I need like one more good trade
Yeah, yeah,
for me to be really threatening kill wise, and I'm only down 7 CS.
yeah.
I would like to collect that 7 CS back, but yeah, I mean, some of it is just like,
Like, I think this is just lazy top lane behavior. Like, you ping the miss as he shows up on screen.
yeah,
It's a shame you don't ult there. So
yeah.
close.
I was hoping Smolder would get it, and then the Pantheon would do what he did, and I'd be able to ult him back, but
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Just poor decision. And then Smolder gets debated.
Yeah, I would really like, at least on this account, for you to be like way more limit testy and like aggressive in those situations than like I think. Yeah, I just think.
do more of that. I do more of that in some of the more recent games.
Yeah,
Like I think even that Gragas game where I won, I think that's something more like, I think I do a thing where, I think I do a thing that is more like what you were saying.
okay.
Oh, that's the Jax one.
Oh,
This one's
whoops.
not bad either. But...
I thought it read Gregor, so it must be.
Oh, oops. You're correct. I appreciate that.
Gaslighting each other. That's great.
Sorry.
So it must be this one, right?
No. Those have the same screenshot. I think I bungled.
That's alright.
Abilities.
Um,
But the like Gragas one, I think rotate to like an early dragon and you'll get a mid kill and roam a little more and things like that. But yeah, I'm not saying that I should not have rotated there. I'm saying that my rationale for whatever it was worth was less of a. It wasn't random. I see what you're saying.
yeah. Okay.
I am explaining my rationale, not defending.
Yeah.
Play. I see that is in fact not the thing. This one has audio, but the
Which one? Sorry.
oh sorry, I'm uploading the Gragas game.
Okay.
I don't think I don't know. I mean, it's probably actually not worth
No, it's fine.
Let's
look at Jax, because this is a kind of similar matchup where it can be a bit rough early, so I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, yes. I will rotate earlier.
I also think, regardless of the Belveth performance, I think if you didn't take such terrible trades early and died early,
yes.
I think you would have rotated to both those fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that I did say that.
Yeah.
Like, I did not want to rotate to those because I had already made I'd already made my dumb mistakes for the game, and I needed to not.
You only get a couple of dumb mistakes, then no more. Yeah. I get it.
And so I was trying to not do. I was at least trying to get some value before I went to like die with the team.
Yeah.
Because it's like I can
yeah.
I can take three mal plays before I.
Why do you have chat turned on? Did you recently turn this back on, or has your chat always been on?
I think on Intrepid it's been on for quite a while.
Okay. Wow, that was... I don't know how we missed 3 CS uncontested. Oh, jeez. Yeah. There we go. Cool.
That was me trying to like actually get like last hits, and not being able to do it.
Yeah.
Because I started with a little bit more. I overpushed. I was expecting him to come a lot sooner and eat the wave a lot sooner than he did, and so that was just me being dumb.
Yeah. I think again, there's just no level 1 plan. You're not actually like this. Just feels so random. Like what? Yeah. Tell me. Talk to me.
I'm trying to. So their Nocturne, we don't have vision on him. I know for a fact that Kane is bot side now, and so the thought was I'm going to pull the wave, but I'm going to try to at least get the option to take an early level 2 on him. And especially when he doesn't show up, I'm thinking that Nocturne is in the area, so then like Nocturne's not really super strong level 2, but he might try something cheeky. And so I'm trying to get level 2 and build up a large wave but I'm not trying to crash it at the second wave. So I wasn't expecting him to be gone for as long as he was, is really what wound up happening. And so I was expecting to try to pull the wave, and it just...
Okay.
I'm looking for an E trade on him, and that's definitely going to push the wave in, but I'm angling for something closer to a wave 3 crash, and then it turns into a awkward wave 2 crash.
Yeah. And you also start this explanation off is with you're trying to like draw the minion aggro so that you can have a pushed wave into you. So again, it feels like you're trying to do two things at once. Like they're conflicting statements. I think we either
Yes.
like you can't have both of those situations. Like it's one or the
Yeah.
other. Um,
And
and I don't know the benefit of the level two. Like I just don't know how Garen. I don't know. Can you
um,
win lane off the level two first? I guess, but he's just going to counter
yeah.
strike you anyway.
So the big thing here is I'm playing Conqueror and I have Ignite and he has Teleport.
Okay, so we've
So
done a
it
bit of a
is
checklist.
it's viable,
Yep.
and I probably should have actually been hitting the caster minions. Is the real thing here?
No, I just think look how low you've gotten the 3 melees. Like I think if you want a proper level 2, all you have to do is be like 2 auto attacks ahead of him, and you're like 9 auto attacks right now.
That's fair. I admittedly am used to
Yeah, I
a
think
lot
you.
more
Yeah, and you
enemy
thought he'd come.
interaction.
Yeah. Because this is just super awkward now. We're hitting a
Yeah,
level 2 crash. Yeah.
Yep. I do in fact get the level 2 crash off though. That's at least
I mean, it's potentially the worst crash in the game. Like, it's such a shit crash. Like, because what do? Oh, cool, I get to ward.
I ward the pixel and
Yeah.
walk back towards it.
Yeah. And now look
At
where
least
the
I'm
wave
safe.
is stuck. And now we've got no kill potential, and you've got Ignite Conqueror, so you want to fight him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So at least there was a better game plan than the Panth matchups, but it's still very half-baked.
yes.
And it kind of
I have,
it kind of broke down as soon as it like contact with the enemy. It just the whole plan just fell apart.
I did. It was calculated, but boy, am I bad at math.
Yeah. I mean, at least you've got a CS lead and you are taking okay trades. Like, there are some good things here.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's not ideal. I would have rather done. Yeah. I was a little too aggressive trying to get a level 2 lead, and I succeeded horrifically.
Yeah. And now we've recalled on a non-cannon wave. I guess Jax can't really push quickly, so it's not the end of the world. Yeah.
I think he gets the wave cleared. I'm seeing, but I think he gets the wave cleared, and Kane's here, and
That's fine. You've got a really good wave set up now, so this is actually that's a really good recall by you. You really fixed this lane.
Yes. It was somewhat accidental, but I knew the next wave was going to be the cannon wave, and I was kind of hoping he wouldn't be able to like hard push it. Kane wants it. I'm not 100% sure about it.
That's fine. You've got a really good freeze now.
Yeah, it's a pretty good wave state. I'm not sad about it. And then he has no idea what to do. He really... I think...
This is great. Okay.
Yeah. It was not a good plan, but it was in fact a plan. And we have Kane coming back for the repeat, and I don't know. I mean, like, it was close.
You broke the freeze. Yeah. No, in the cannon. No. Oh.
Close.
Well, that's cool. I didn't know you could cancel Garen animation like that.
Yeah.
How does that work? Like you're walking, not spinning.
So...
What? Is that only on... Wait, I've got Devasia Vice. How do you do that? You don't know,
it's
dude.
It's just a glitch. It happens from time to time. I think if you like have an auto, like if you use the E to cancel your auto animation,
Got it. That's cool.
maybe it does that. But it's I don't even know if it's like something that Jax would see if he was there or whatever, or if it's just like a local client glitch.
Yeah,
but
funny.
I get that every now and then where I'm just like, I have a cyclone around me that is an actual. But it's actually a net nerf if they can see it. because one of the benefits of the E is they can't see which direction you're facing.
True.
And so, like, Cassiopeia will blomp on you if you're cunning.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting situation. Yeah, I
So
wonder what happens if you cancel the Garen E animation and you walk into cat. Yeah, I wonder how that interaction plays out. I guess it depends if it's just on your side or not. Okay, we're just doing a grub. All right. No one's here to help you. I don't know who you're asking assistance for. This is crazy. I thought you didn't like grubs. Last game there was no grub. Look, you've just used your whole health bar.
It's fine. I have plenty of health.
Oh my god. Yeah, oh my god. You missed 2 melee for the grubs. You've gotten away with murder here. This is completely illegal.
I was curious how it would go at level 6. I know at level 9 it's fine, and level 6 the answer is no, don't do it.
Oh well, at least we learned something. I mean, you got one grub, I guess. But now you've lost all your lane pressure, which you were dominating so well.
Yeah.
I much prefer that, the E start. Unless you can get the Q off before he counter strikes. It's very hard to do, though. I mean, don't you just win? Don't you just win the next fight? No. Why? This is so weird.
We're just trying out grubs. But I know they don't have vision, and...
But like, we should be taking the biggest, like, advantages. This is just, like, this is a weird advantage to take.
He hasn't been using his, like, jump dash thing to initiate, and so, like, I don't really have... I mean, like, I can... I don't know. I mean... I felt that this was more productive than staring angrily at Jax as he leap strikes away from me.
I guess. but you had a legitimate kill window there, and now you've lost it again. And now he's got a kill window on you. And now we've just ignited full health. So we've lost our kill window now for the next 3 minutes. For 2 grubs. That Kane probably could have got right now anyway.
Yes.
Okay. And we don't want to recall on 1800 gold. I just think your gameplay's so inconsistent. Like, this is like... Like, there's no pattern of gameplay between this and the other games we've watched, really, except for some really dodgy decisions.
This is significantly later than the Pantheon games. Yeah.
Yeah, we've just lost all... I don't know, I feel like if we're going Ignite, Conqueror, Garen into a Jax matchup, that sounds like a kill lane to me. But then you play for the grubs instead of the kills.
So this one, the...
What's that ward? You were trying to get it over the Alco?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I botched it like the Belvet from last one.
Yeah.
So the Jax matchup, like, it's even, and the longer it goes where, like, Garen goes even or ahead, the better it is for Garen.
Yeah.
And so
but taking grubs doesn't extend the even lane.
So I'm up 13 CS, and the little guys give me stacks on the W. I don't know. I mean, I don't do that again. If we go and watch some of the more recent ones, this is not repeated ever.
Okay. I hope it doesn't ever get repeated, because you actually built an advantage in a matchup that you shouldn't have had an advantage in. Like the Jax Garen matchup's meant to be tough, but you didn't actually. I felt like you could have capitalized on this way more.
Let me see. My impression of the Jax Garen matchup is it's pretty even. Like there's not really like so Rist has it as an easier matchup provided you respect his cooldowns. Basically the main thing is don't use your Q into his counter strike, and you're pretty good. And I mean, like this Jax is not particularly great.
But, I think you're playing the textbook matchup too much. Like, I think you're over. Like, Rist's matchup analysis is good for the baseline, but then once you're 7 minutes into the game and you're winning trades into Jax, I think you should adjust the game plan, if that makes sense. Like, because this Jax is shit. Like not shit, but like this matchup should be way harder. You should not have a CS lead. You should not have any of the event. You shouldn't even have a chance to come and do grubs like this. This is weird. Like, it's very unusual.
I mean, I don't know. Like, it seemed like yeah, so the Garen matchup versus Jax top lane. Garen has a 54% win rate right now in Emerald Plus. In Silver, it's like a 58% win rate. Like, this is a very Garen favored matchup.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like,
but you're not doing anything to win the matchup. Like, grubs, like, that's not...
Yeah.
You're not pushing the advantage at all.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I was exploring weird shenanigans in this one.
Okay.
So one of the things that I, like, the Aloy NL gentleman had talked about was, like, just going, like, trading waves back and forth is cute and all, but, like, try to get, like, a jungle camp or... I mean, like, he was talking about, like, Gromp or Krugs or something like that, and that probably would have been a better thing than the grubs, but it was here, and I knew that they didn't know I was on it, so I was just seeing how Garen had, like... Because I know level 9, it's pretty easy, because the E being rank 5 means you can clear it really quickly, but I'm just kind of taking the opportunity to experiment, and I don't get punished for it at all by literally anybody. It's great.
Yeah. Well, you've just punished yourself. That's the punishment you need. Like you could have crashed that wave and then done this exact thing, but instead you left the wave neutral. Like that's what I'm trying to fix. I don't understand why you'd leave a neutral wave to go do grubs. Like, so the way he's talking about top lane is you crash the wave, then rotate, but you've gone neutral wave, rotate.
He does still, like, he's got right before this, I think he had a reasonable health advantage, and...
No, you've got a kill window here. Look, because he takes a turret shot. This is a really good trade for you. That's excellent. He's 560, you're 630.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I
Like, I feel like that's a better situation than this. Like, that's way worse. Yeah.
Which, I mean, I might have gotten spooked by this one, and I was very cautious about that, and I don't know.
Yeah. I don't mind a bit of limit testing as long as there's still fundamentals in place. Like, again, I think it's fine to rotate to those grubs, but the fundamentals of top is you crash the wave. Like, there's rarely ever a situation where you leave a wave neutral in top lane. Unless you literally need to recall to save your life. Not to do grubs. Like, it's like a hierarchy. I don't think a neutral wave is ever... You should ever leave your lane on a neutral wave. It's just too many things could go wrong.
Yeah.
Sure. And now you've, like, completely set this lane up so Jax doesn't have to interact with you, which I think is... I don't think it's advantageous given Garen's averaging a 58% win rate or a 54 to 58%. I don't think this is how you want to play a matchup where you've got such a high win rate in the meta. Because this gives you no advantages to kill him, which is what you want to do when the matchup is that. The matchup is that, like, advantageous to you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like the...
Because now, look at this, it's just crush wave. I guess you're getting platings, which is good. You're rotating, which is good.
This one was definitely like it was an experiment. I really don't like grubs. I had a chance to do them.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, you know, it's one of those it when I don't know, when I did the first one and it was super painful. I probably should have not gone for the second one, but it just felt like, well, if we're gonna get one, we might as well try to get the second one while they're skirmishing over dragon. And I don't know. It might have been it was the thought was it might be a good idea to sometimes do these, and the answer was no. I've increased the sum total of my knowledge. The answer is no.
Yeah, fair. Well, I wouldn't conclude that. I would say crash the wave, and then if you want to do grubs, do grubs. So I think the idea is fine. Like, I really like the idea of trying something new, but just do it correctly. Nice work. That's a good kill. Cool. Yeah, I don't think it should take 14 minutes to get a kill in this matchup, but we got a kill at least.
That was my fault with that early wave botching.
Well, and the grubs, but yeah.
Yeah. The grubs weren't great either, but
yeah.
I think if the
you sound like a Kamala supporter. Oh my god, what is going on?
Where? Oh, in chat.
In the chat.
Yeah, I have no idea. But if the wave had been in a better state, like, because I was basically it got into a spot where I didn't really, I don't know, it was in a bad spot, and I decided to make it. I decided to make lemons out of lemonade, and
yeah,
wound up making the situation worse. But I don't know. I just didn't think that I had a good. I didn't see the kill window there. I mean, reviewing it, yeah, I could see that was probably a kill window, but I just foresaw him.
Yeah.
Either ulting, and then I'm kind of just stuck in because I don't have phase rush, and my flash was down.
Yeah.
So some of it was just discomfort there, and some of it was just a bad decision. There was a couple other Conqueror games, and I think I've got a better feel for how Conqueror goes, but
yeah.
And like, you know, this was the sort of feared for situation where just like, yeah, like with phase rush I get out of that, but I didn't have phase rush.
Yeah. You also didn't have tier 2 boots. I think you're holding off on boots for so long. Like, I think tier 2 boots are just as important as Stride Breaker in certain situations. I don't think tier 2 boots matters there.
No. And well, so in the balance, there's probably at least a few situations where I'm playing, like, I really probably did need tier 2 boots here because I have Conqueror, and it would have made those situations where I'm looking at the Jacks and thinking, man, I can't get onto him, a lot less of a problem.
Yeah.
Like that, I think that is a very valid criticism, especially with Conqueror. I mean, like, you could convince me that I'm a silver idiot, and it's the correct play even when I have Phase Rush, but it feels a lot less.
A wise man. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
But like basically, like I typically won't get tier 2 boots on Phase Rush Garen just because like the being able to having easy access to Phase Rush is like
Yeah.
90% of the value.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except when I'm like trying to run back to lane and things like that. But
we can have that with Tiamat. Like Tiamat gives the same access to Phase Rush.
Yeah, but what I mean is like the thing that I'm saying is like at the point where I have Tiamat and access to Phase Rush, I feel like Phage or Stridebreaker is more access and like better value than the tier 2 boots.
Got it.
I don't know. I mean, like
I think if you're ahead, I think it's correct, but I think it's really situational. I think in that Panth matchup, as soon as you get Tiamat, you want tier 2 boots.
Yeah, I could see that, especially the like steel caps.
Over, yeah. Steel caps or Zerkers, depending how confident you're feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like, so, I think we're pretty much over time, but...
Yeah. Sorry, well, let's wrap it up. Yeah.
I mean, I'm more than happy to...
no.
Continue, but, yeah, so these were all the ones where I was struggling for no real apparent reason. I don't know, I just was dumb.
Yeah.
And I'm probably still making some bad decisions categorically. But I feel like some of my more recent games are less of a less of a thing. Yeah, like the... Well, I mean, he was Bronze 4, but there's a Wukong game, like, there was a couple after this where I definitely don't do any of these dumb, janky things.
Yeah. It's just because, like, to climb in League, and I really want to get you to Plat, and I know you want to get to Plat as well. It's just, like, these games should almost never happen, like, because it's so preventable, the mistakes you're making. And so I'm trying to, like, that's what like, you don't actually have to be a very good League player to get to a pretty high rank. It's just about consistency and not doing the mistakes that everyone else does.
And some of this was just... I am just now starting... So, like...
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. So, like, if you click on that Wukong game that's, like, third from the top there, I know it's, like, over... like, in the YouTube playlist.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Like, it's number 3. Assuming that is actually the one that it...
yeah, it is.
If I didn't upload the Gragas game here. Yeah. And then, like, I don't know, like, if you go look at some of the early stuff, and, like, after this, like... I think all of these were before I messaged you. I was like, it feels bad. And then I did go through and watch a bunch of like Garen replays.
I mean, you've just done the exact same thing. You've started a slow push and then you broke it. I mean, this is better because at least you don't get this... Well, you're going to get a level 2 crash basically again. It's not as bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, the E-Start has that distinct problem. It's really hard for me to just not to, like, get this level 2 crash.
I mean, like you've missed 4 CS here for no reason. Like that's what I'm trying to figure out in consistency. Like I don't know
Yeah.
what the obsession is with this crash over 4 more CS. Like it just there's nothing making sense. Like this is really weird. Like it just looks like you're not really. And now we're proxying. This is I guess okay, but it's just like it's unnecessary. I felt like I feel like.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and so I mean, like the proxy is just I mean, I'm feeling
No.
out these tools, and like there's like
Okay. Yeah. Look. Okay.
it,
I think this gameplay's fine, but I don't know. It's just like I think you're doing a bit too much of it. Like in almost
yes,
all
yeah,
these replays, there's way too much like reckless behavior,
yes,
and I think if there was a mixture of like, okay, this is my fuck around account, but you're also playing on the other account and you're really focusing, I think it's fine. But this is just I think too much fucking around. I think. Like, unless you're
yeah.
really enjoying this, but I would like to see at least on the other account from now on serious gameplay, and then this can be an account where you continue to test these things and try
I
quirky stuff. I
I
think that's fine.
I pulled it back to more like um I pulled it back to more Silence the Minion, a Classico. Like conservative stuff recently, and that's why my win rate has shot up. I mean, realistically, like
Yeah, because it concerns me because when you send me a message of like what you did a few days ago, to me it's like, oh, you've done some. Like, I don't think you're able to identify that you were fucking around a bit too much, which I think, like, I think you should be able to self-identify that without being like like not frustrated at the game, but worried about your performance, if that makes sense.
yeah. Well, that was so that was November 3rd,
Yeah. Okay, it was a while ago.
and yeah, like the one yesterday or the one a few days ago was basically I'm doing a lot better, and I think I figured it out, and that essentially is the the yes.
I want some kind of
The
split. I don't mind what split it is, but split gameplay between both accounts now. Because I think we need to cut. Like, we gotta. I want to see, like, next review that we can actually look at some quality. Like, this gameplay's still good. You're still doing good stuff. You're still winning. But there's just a lot of, like, weird testing stuff going on here, which I don't think's
yeah,
that productive in terms of climbing. And I'd like to
yeah, and
see the main account now with some gameplay.
and so I mean, there's probably still some weird testing gameplay to some extent, but I've pulled it back a very significant amount in like the past like week or so, and that represents a decent chunk of the games that I haven't like had stuff to upload and the more recent stuff, and like just the big thing was I'm
Yeah.
going on like a year and change and stuff, and like I had never really tried any of these tools or like these things at all myself, and like the like these yeah, like the Pantheon game, and I see what you're talking about with the rotating to stuff late. Either don't do it at all or do it early, and the answer is do it early. And I do start doing that in like some of the ones that didn't make it into the replay thing here, and that was that was one of the key things. So like the more recent games, like instead of doing the early like janky Wave 2 crash, I'm doing it a little. I'm doing a lot more like I'm playing a lot more tactically, and I'm making sure the big thing is like those first 4 waves.
Yeah.
Like I haven't really like in all of these like I'm doing weird stuff with the wave, and the one thing that I saw with like the Garen replays that I was watching for like high level stuff was basically just that um, they're like they just sort of last hit the waves and trade on their opponent, and so I've stopped trying to do weird stuff with the wave, and I've started basically just trying to set up kills from level 1, and that's gotten significantly better.
Okay. Good. Yeah, because I think this gameplay is fine as long as it's not 100% of your game, so that's good to hear. And yeah.
And yes. Some of it was just dumb, like the Pantheon trades and the not rotating. That was just dumb, and there was no reason for me to do that. Except I have a problem with that just historically, where like I still will try to do 2 things.
Yeah.
Simultaneously. I think all of that's fair and all of that's reasonable.
Yeah. Cool.
The big one is still just like the.
Yeah.
Don't say. Did you paste it somewhere?
Yeah, I put it in our chat.
I missed it. Okay.
I added some more.
What do you mean in everything you do? Like, what does that look like? We don't have to get into that now, but like, I'm not 100% sure what consistency in, like.
So consistency in everything you do. So CS, we missed 4 out of 12 CS. Like, that's not consistency. Consistency is 12 out of 12 CS as an example. So like, as you say, the higher elo guys, they play around last hitting and then they trade into the champion. Whereas you use abilities on the wave, like still. And we've talked about this a lot, is abilities should almost never be used on the wave in these early situations unless it's like to achieve a really strong position in the lane or something. But you're not establishing much with it. So it's just really weird behavior.